Joining me now, Skye Perryman, President and CEO of Democracy Forward, a national legal organization and one of the groups behind these protests. And Jonathan Alter joins us, MSNBC contributor, columnist, and the man behind the Old Goats newsletter. Skye, the turnout appears to be massive, larger than the first No Kings protests. But John Kasich was just bringing up a really good point that it's inspirational, it's exciting for people to come together. But what's the goal? What do you hope to get out of this protest? Because Donald Trump's going to be president tomorrow, and Republicans still have control of basically everything.
You know, this is a protest that's about the American people. It's about the American people using their voice and making it clear. They may not agree on everything. There are folks at these protests that are from big cities, small towns, all different kind of folks. But it's important to make their voices heard. And at Democracy Forward, we're in court a lot, and we are up against the administration a lot. And we actually see that when people use their voices and push back, we are able to make change on behalf of people. We have forced this administration to back off, to restore funds across the country for public education. And so I think that that's what you see is people calling on their government, whether that's their president or members of Congress, to say, we are the people and we need a government that's going to work for people.
Jonathan, what is your impression of what we're seeing today?
I think it's historic, and it's very hard to know that you're making history when it's underway. So if today matches or exceeds the June 14th No Kings protests, it will take its place as the second largest one-day protest in all of American history. The largest was Earth Day 1970. And what people need to understand about these events is that there's no direct cause and effect, and there never is in movement building marches and protests. I went to Earth Day as a 12-year-old, and I was involved as a kid in civil rights and anti-Vietnam War protests with my parents. I didn't realize we were making history, and the war didn't end right away. And we didn't get civil rights right away. We didn't get the environmental movement that changed the country bearing fruit right away. But what happens is over time, people power works. And it's been proven by world history. So 50 years ago, there were 40 democracies in the world. Today, there are 88 democracies. Democracy is on the defensive to some extent, but we have many, many more, more than twice as many as we had half a century ago. Why? Two words: people power. In all of those countries that moved from dictatorship to democracy or helped restore their democracies, it was because people took to the streets peacefully. So this won't be the last of the No Kings protests. It's a brilliant umbrella, unifying umbrella, No Kings, and it will go down in history as an important event.
While Republican leadership is framing today as a Hate America rally, what do you think of that assessment, Skye, and how have you messaged to the participants to ensure that today remains peaceful?
Well, first of all, there is nothing more American than saying no kings and then going out and peacefully making your voices heard. And that's what we've seen, and it is patriotic, and it is in the great history and tradition of this country. But the organizers of the No Kings protest, and we are proud to be one of the partners, but the organizers, whether they are faith-based communities like the Interfaith Alliance or communities like Indivisible, which has had this big umbrella, or the partner organizations like us at Democracy Forward, there have been nonviolent trainings, de-escalation trainings, because this is actually a government right now that often asserts about others what it itself is doing. And so we want to make sure that people know if somebody comes in to try to escalate violence, how to de-escalate. These have been peaceful, they have been joyous, they have been inspiring, and that is that critical people power. So it really is, I agree, so historic today, and will continue to be historic as we see people join together and say, this is what makes us a country. This is what makes us America, is no kings. That's how the whole thing got started. And so, that's what I would say to all the naysayers is there's nothing more American. There's nothing more patriotic. There's nothing more loving than coming together with your neighbor and saying, we are going to demand a better future. We're going to do it peacefully, and we're going to do it together. And that's what you see across the country.
Jonathan, I want to share how the White House spokesperson describes supporters of the Democratic Party right now. Watch this.
The Democrat Party's main constituency are made up of Hamas terrorists, illegal aliens, and violent criminals. That is who the Democrat Party is catering to, not the Trump administration and not the White House and not the Republican Party, who is standing up for law-abiding Americans, not just across the country, but around the world.
Jonathan, what is the purpose of this rhetoric?
Well, first of all, it's a stupid lie, and it's also counterproductive. It doesn't help them because it's not believable. When you see these people with American flags who are just very much, in the tradition of peaceful protest in the United States, when you make a charge, doesn't matter whether it's from the White House or on the campaign trail, that's not credible, it doesn't do you any good. And I think so many people are traumatized by Trump. They think he always wins. And, what good is this going to do? Because it's not going to change things overnight. And they don't understand that this is a very unpopular president. When he has haters like that, and when they say it's hate America, they're the ones who hate American traditions by their actions this year. They're always projecting, what they're doing. But it's not doing them any good. And they're not on the winning side of this. And I think Trump has come across so aggressively that a lot of people don't understand that as bad as things are, the good guys are going to win. And today is proof of that, because eventually an aroused American people taking to the streets will bring change. Not right away, but over time as they build their new No Kings movement. And I was out there today at two places in New Jersey, and there was a joyous mood. I think people are ready to begin the process of taking our country back from these authoritarians who are led by a wannabe dictator, which is not the American way.
My team is going to kill me for not going to break, though, but can you just say that one more time for us, Jonathan? Because we talk all the time how the country is divided by anger and hate, and people are supercharged by their anger, yet the people you saw today were joyous.
Yeah, I mean, there was obviously some anger, too, and we are angry and divided. But I was really struck. I talked to a bunch of people at two different locations. There's a kind of a quiet determination here to take our country back. And it's quite inspiring when you talk to them. And, a lot of them disagree with people right next to them about the Middle East or other issues. Trump, they're afraid of this. They tried to say last week, oh, this is a pro-Palestinian thing. I didn't see a single a flag that wasn't an American flag or sign that wasn't on point about no kings. I didn't see anything about the Middle East or anything else at two big events. So the American public, or at least half of it, is really focused on doing what people power does best, which is bringing a democratic spirit.
Or perhaps people were joyous where you were, Jonathan, because they were in the Garden State.
It's all over. People are happy.
Maybe it's because they were in the Garden State, and who doesn't love New Jersey?
Yeah.
Skye, pleasure to meet you, Jonathan. Great to see you. Charlotte is an MVP on my show. We might have to have you come by sometime.